everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano. Happy to be with you here as we discuss the Week 6 Fantasy Baseball Waiver Wire for the week beginning Monday, May 3rd. Guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check out everything we have there. The main page, the premium package, the expert chats, you name it, rotoballer.com is the place to be. Whether you're looking at football, baseball, basketball, MMA, esports, PGA, NASCAR, daily or season-long formats, rotoballer.com has you covered. Okay, NFL draft, the MLB season, you name it, we're right there for you. Guys, free app available in the App Store on your phone, so sign up for that. And sign up for any of the premium packages, including the MLB or NFL, using the promotional code ACES, and save yourself a little bit of money. All right, everybody. Week 6, hitters, waiver wire. Okay, we're at May already. 1 month down. Most players now, you're looking at about 40 to 45 games played. You're looking at approaching maybe 1/5, 1/6 of their at-bats for the season, assuming a full season of health. So it's time to take a look at some hitters for the upcoming week. Just a reminder, Yahoo roster percentages. Try to keep it at under 40% unless somebody stands out who's a little bit over that. All right, and we're going to break it down 2 ways. We're going to look at them over the last 14 and season long to this point. And we'll start at the corner infield positions. Some first baseman, third baseman. Okay, the number one corner infielder on my list, Pavin Smith of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Actually, first base and outfield eligible. Hitting first, hitting leadoff primarily in this D-backs lineup. 10% rostered on yahoo.com. Over his last 14 days, hitting .278, 1 homer, 4 RBIs, 8 runs scored. And on the season, there are some numbers I do like. He's hitting .265. I wish the on-base percentage was a little bit higher at .307. 12 runs scored, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. But what I do like is that strikeout rate sitting at 18.2%. He's putting the bat on the ball. That leads to more success throughout the year. Throughout his minor league career, this was always a low strikeout hitter with hit about .290 in the 2019 season in the minor leagues. Hit 10 or more home runs a couple of times in the minor leagues. You're not looking at a 30 home run guy, but you're looking at potential double-digit homers with a respectable batting average. Not a first baseman, but if he's your corner infielder, you're dealing with injury, Luke Voigt's still out, so forth and so on, ineffectiveness, Pavin Smith is the guy for me at only a 10% rostership. On the veteran side of things, the San Francisco Giants, Brandon Belt, 33 years old. He's hitting 4th in that Giant lineup. Giants playing good ball. 14% rostered. Now, on the season, he's only hitting .212, but that number is coming up over his last 14. It's up to .250 over just his last 14, getting it up to .212 on the season. But remember, he hit .309 last year. This is a career .262 hitter. Expect that .262, .265 area to where he ends up at the end of the year. So that means, okay, the numbers are going to go up, right? He's not a .212 hitter. He's showing a little power. 4 homers on the season, 3 of them over the last 14 days. 11 RBIs on the season, 9 of them over the last 14. So the numbers have really upticked over the last 14 days. He's walking a ton. Love him in an on-base percentage league. Okay, his walk rate is 17.3% on the season, giving him an on-base percentage of .346. Now, the one concern are the strikeouts. Currently on the season, sitting at about 30.9% of the time is Brandon Belt striking out. But remember, he's a career 23% strikeout rate. I expect the strikeouts to go down. I expect the batting average to continue going up and the power numbers to end up where they usually are with Brandon Belt. Ton of RBI opportunities as well, sitting in the middle of that Giants batting order. If you're looking more on the third base side of the corner infield positions, Maikel Franco of the Baltimore Orioles. 28 years old, only 14% rostered. Again, on the season, .242. Over his last 14, batting average sits at .267. Never a high on-base percentage guy. Only .308 on the year. 3 homers on the year, 2 of them over the last 14 days for Maikel Franco. Ton of RBIs, though. This is a category filler because Maikel Franco right now is driving in runs. He's got 17 RBIs on the season. So when you break down your standings, and remember, don't just look at the overall standings. Break down the runs. Where do you stand in runs, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, batting average? Where can you make a push? If you can make a push right now in RBIs, Maikel Franco can help you there. 17 RBIs on the season so far. Never strikes out a ton. For his career, it's only 15.5% this season, sitting at only 20% and 8.7% walk rate. But fill a category there in the corner infield as he can fill those RBI category as he continues to drive in runs. Now, another corner infielder, first base outfielder actually, who provides a category, and understand, I realize it's only a category, is Austin Slater of the San Francisco Giants. 7% rostered, but he is my stolen base ad of the week if that's the category you're looking to fill. Okay? On the season, only hitting 227. Okay? Over his last 14 days, only hitting 256. Shows a little bit of pop, 2 homers on the year, nothing to get overly excited about. However, over the last 14 days, he does have 4 stolen bases. He does have 5 stolen bases on the season. Now, he's striking out a ton, 35%. He does walk a respectable amount, 11.8%. Gives him an on-base percentage of about .318. But, again, daily league, looking for steals. If Austin Slater plays in that daily format, maybe you put him in as a low-end outfielder or a corner infielder because he does have those 5 stolen bases on the season. And he stole 8 bases in the shortened season last year. Full season last year, we would have projected to about 15, 16 stolen bases. So if you're chasing those steals, okay, Austin Slater is somebody who can fill. Maybe you lost Jazz Chisholm and you manipulate the lineup, get Austin Slater in a daily format, hopefully pick up a couple of stolen bases over the next few weeks. All right, now let's slide over to some middle infielders, second base, shortstop eligible players. Josh Rojas of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Love the multi-position eligibility, second base, shortstop, outfield. I'm not tripping over myself trying to add him, but he is on a hot streak right now. Last 14 days, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 8 runs scored, and hitting .345, which are astronomical numbers for Rojas for his career. Even with that, let's be honest, he's only hitting .200 on the season, and all those numbers are exactly the same. Walks about 13%, strikes out 26%, short-term fix at best, but I wanted to mention him because people are going to see those last 14 days. Okay, red hot. 9% rostered. He's a freebie in my opinion. If you get him for 0, you have an injured reserve spot, somebody goes on IR, maybe it's Jazz Chisholm, you plug in Josh Rojas, bid $1, bid $0 for him if you can. Ride the hot streak, and then when he cools off, he's somebody who's completely droppable, most likely once again when Ketel Marte returns for Arizona, so forth and so on. The middle infielder I am completely in love with is Nick Madrigal of the Chicago White Sox. Now, he's higher rostered than anybody else. Like I said, I try to keep it at 40. He's at 49%, and that's an absurd number, okay? 24-year-old second baseman for Chicago. This is a player who over his last 14 days is hitting .351. On the season, he's hitting .316 with a .369 on-base percentage. He hit .340 last season in the shortened season, okay? This is the number. This was the number that was close to my heart. He walks 6%. He's striking out this year 3.6% of the time. You just don't see that in baseball anymore. That low a strikeout rate. He puts the bat on the ball. When you put the bat on the ball, good things happen. That's what Madrigal does. Now, fantasy rotisserie-wise, you're saying to me, Anthony, he doesn't steal bases and he doesn't hit home runs. And you're absolutely right. But when you're on base, what do? You score runs. He's got 16 runs scored on the season. So right now, he's a 2-category filler as a middle infielder at less than 50% rostered on Yahoo. He gives you runs, and he gives you batting average. So again, I go back to what I say about Austin Slater. You don't need the best player right now. You need to look at your standings and say, where am I behind, and where can I make a run? I need to make a run in batting average. I need to make a run in runs scored. Nick Madrigal will fill those categories because he's on base. Okay, a .369 on base percentage for the season to go along with that .316 batting average, And that 316 batting average helps batting average. Remember, the league as a whole this year is hitting in the 230s. So when you could get somebody who's hitting 316, that is a complete changer in the batting average category. It just is, as everybody else is down at the 230s. So make a move on Nick Mangold if available, because he is available in about half of Yahoo leagues. Slide over to the outfield, and now we go to the other extreme from Nick Mangold, and that's Tyler O'Neill of the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, a category filler, but it's certainly not batting average, and it's certainly not on base percentage. That category is power, 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 and power. Okay? Over his last 14 days, he's hitting 346. That's not going to last. 346. What could last is the power. 4 homers, 5 RBIs, 7 runs scored, 2 stolen bases. On the season, his batting average is 241. And if he finishes in the 240s, it's a huge win for Tyler O'Neill. 5 homers, 10 runs scored, 8 RBIs on the year. Now, here's what I don't love. He's walking less than 2% of the time. 1.8% of the time he is drawing a walk. That leads to an atrocious on-base percentage of 268. He is striking out on the season 37.5% of the time. I talk about it all the time. I want that walk and that strikeout rate. I want that gap here. I don't want a big gap. Here's Tyler O'Neill. It's terrible. Okay? But at 13% rostered on Yahoo, it is a fill, right? Slater, I talk about, don't love him as a player, but he can give you steals. Nick Mangold, I love him as a player, runs and batting average. Tyler O'Neill, okay, not my player. It's Joey Gallo-esque, but he can fill that hole if you need to make a run in power categories, specifically home runs. That's where Tyler O'Neill can potentially make a run. Now, playing time could be tight. Harrison Bader's back. Dylan Carlson's been terrific for St. Louis, but nonetheless, 4 home runs in his last 14 days for Tyler O'Neill. And finally, Corey Dickerson of the Miami Marlins. 9% roster, and I know he's been banged up. He's been day-to-day over the last couple of days. But nonetheless, if you wanted maybe the most pure all-around hitter of the bunch today, Corey Dickerson, 394 over his last 14, 329 batting average on the season, 11 runs scored, a homer, 7 RBIs, striking out less than 20%, 18.6% of the time. He's a career 285 hitter, 20-plus home runs 3 times in his career. Corey Dickerson, to me, when I look at this list, is the best hitter on the list overall. Give you double-digit power, respectable batting average, and just never be a hot and cold, ride the wave type of player. So that being said, if I need a corner infielder, okay, I go Pavin Smith, Maikel Franco, Brandon Belt, Austin Slater, filling stolen bases. Middle infielder, it's Mangold if he's available. Josh Rojas, potential short-term fix. Ride that hot hand. In the outfield, all right, if you need the power, it's Tyler O'Neill. Corey Dickerson, probably the better all-around player. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you stay right here on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. Check out all the great content, including the Week 6 pitcher waiver wire, and head over to rotoballer.com. Sign up for those premium packages. Promo code ACES. You're telling them Anthony sent you. Follow me on Twitter at Aniano Fantasy. Hit me up there with any questions, comments, or anything else you want to talk about. NFL Draft, Major League Baseball, whatever you want to discuss. I'm always willing to have a nice little Twitter conversation with all of you. All right, everybody. Stay smart. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.